Lesbos, a Greek island just 10 kilometers from the Turkish coast. For the past 10 years, it has been one of the main entries to Europe for migrants. Many migrants have reported cases of violence from the Coast Guard. The Mavrouni camp, built on a former military site and difficult for the media to access, shelters more than 1,300 refugees. With our undercover camera, we managed to enter and meet Mahdi, a computer science student who fled Kabul a year ago after being threatened by the Taliban.
This is where we line up for meals.
Mahdi lives in this tent with 6 other people. There is no heating and no hot water.
This is our shelter, where we live.
He tells us about the violence of the Greek Coast Guard and the sea crossing.
This road is the road of death. Most people drown and never make it here. I couldn't even say goodbye to my parents. They would never have let me take this path. There is the risk of drowning and the coast guards who beat us. They beat us until we can't move anymore, sometimes to the point where someone has to carry us. This road is terribly hard.
Several violent pushbacks have been reported in the agency, documented by the UN and NGOs. We investigated and obtained these rare images, both intercepted, then forced back to the Turkish waters. According to the NGO Aegean Boat Report, nearly 100,000 people have been forced away since 2020. These pushbacks have steadily increased, peaking in 2023. At the same time, Turkish authorities claim to have prevented more than 250,000 departures that year. In this video, refugees are seen being repelled by the Greek Coast Guard. These Afghan women even claim that batons and knives were used during interception in order to force them to turn back.
They were covered their faces with a black mask. And they hit us, they took all the things from us. There are many children here.
In other verified footage, a boat appears without an engine. According to the passengers, the Greek Coast Guard removed it, leaving them adrift at sea. Most refugees arrive in Lesbos after several attempts to cross. Outside the camp, Layla collects testimonies from refugees who have been victims of pushbacks at sea. She knows this fear as she lived through it herself. Today, she works for the NGO Lesbos Legal Center and tries to document what many migrants are afraid to reveal.
But it's difficult to find people who are willing to talk to, since they're still in Greece, they're going through the procedure, they're waiting for decision, or even though they have rejection and they don't want to risk because they're afraid to have more trouble with the state, because this is the state bringing the violence itself. And for them, it's very scary to make a complaint against the state who is imposing this violence to them, and that's why they cannot talk very freely about it.
At the legal center, what Layla describes, she sees every day here in Lesbos. In Greece, the right to asylum exists on paper. On the ground, thousands of children, women, and men are forced away or locked up in the camps under extreme conditions.
There is no international water between Turkey and Greece, so people have the right to ask for asylum in the middle of the sea, because the Turkish water and the Greek water, they're bordering each other. So as soon as they leave Turkish water, they're already in Greek territory, they have the right to ask for asylum. And Greece, by pushing people back, they're violating the international law.
This is the testimony of an Ethiopian refugee collected by Layla, now living in Athens.
What we experienced in Greece broke my heart. We were treated like animals, worse than animals. They beat, robbed, and abandoned us in a small inflatable boat. They even forced me to undress and threatened to rape me.
Amnesty International says that illegal pushbacks in the agency has been going on for over a decade, which Greek authorities deny.
Amnesty International has been documenting pushbacks at land and sea borders in Greece since 2013 to 2014. So we can confidently say it's been 10 years of continuous reporting of pushbacks. This hasn't changed. In 2025, we continue to see other NGOs reporting on pushbacks, and unfortunately, we still don't see accountability for them, nor for dangerous practices at borders.
This resident of Lesbos criticizes what she sees as a European policy being openly hostile to refugees. On the island, opinions remain divided between solidarity and fatigue.
Most of the governments in Europe, unfortunately, follow this policy, is anti-refugee. They're trying to make their lives harder, and the best example is the new camp they are building in the middle of nowhere on this island.
The new closed Vastria camp, built in a remote area in the center of the island, cost nearly 90 million euros funded by Europe. The high security facility is expected to host 5,000 asylum seekers.